No matter what I do, my wife threatens divorce. I said okay and left, staying with my sister. My wife and I had been together 5 years, married 4. We'd known each other years. We have a 4-year-old. Because she's a psalm, I'm the main provider. Not returning to work was her option. We've fought once or twice a month for a year and a half. To clarify, I clean, cook, and interact with our child. Ironically, she initially expressed her desire for a divorce during an argument when my sister called to ask if she could stay with us since she was having relationship issues, saying she could. This upset my wife. I told her that her friends had stayed with us for 5 weeks a few months previously and done nothing to the home. She was simply there. Nothing is spoken. She was new to me and my child. My sister is kind and gets along with our baby, so I believed my wife was too. She spent a week helping us cook, clean, and care our child. I thought we had forgiven and gone forward. Most clashes are trivial and 90% are not my fault. She refused treatment and counseling, even though I suggested it. So I had it last night. She argued because she believed I worked too much. She said she feels abandoned and that I'm a bad father, then added, I want a divorce. I told her I work hard because she can't stop using my edit. Our money was wasted on the argument. It accidentally became my money when typed. We split the money between bills, savings, future daughter, and fun money spent on unnecessary stuff. She didn't work or go to school to support herself. I support my family. For my daughter, I'm always there for her important events, gatherings, doctor's appointments, and more. She rejected therapy and counseling. I don't want this anymore, therefore my lawyer will send her the full documentation. I left my daughter's possessions with my sisters. After 2 days, she's still calling and texting to apologize. She didn't mean it. Counseling and treatment are her goals. She needs me, misses me, etc. Not sure what to do? I adore her. Good mother. Can't do it anymore. Internet strangers, help. I have a lawyer. For family and work, I've known her since high school. An update, everyone. Unfortunately, this update is negative. I blogged a few months back about my wife's constant divorce threats. I left after doing excellent and picking up my daughter. My profile has the original complaint I put here. One of my comments on my August post will help answer some questions. I'll mention some objects that seem neglected. I would take my daughter if I could do it again. I've advised her wife to do anything, get a job, get a hobby, meet new people. I requested help. She ignored my offer. She declined repeatedly. Maybe she wasn't the issue. My daughter comes first. I don't fight with my wife in public. We had a terrible home. My father once argued with my mother. Father took out his anger on me when my mother left. I never want that for her. My wife's plans for that night are unclear. You cannot force someone to seek help. They must want it, really want it. If forced, someone will act like they made changes. I'm not blameless, but I can't educate my daughter this is acceptable behavior. Or partnerships should be like this. When I was young, I vowed never to be like my father. Okay, I pondered a lot after posting. I needed her to understand my seriousness. I told her I couldn't do this anymore as we sat down. Stop fighting and threatening divorce. She agreed but insisted she would not say it. I promised her it would be thrown away last. We chose marriage therapy. A revelation. We shared thoughts and feelings, and outside expert opinions helped us understand one another. I thought we were progressing after a few sessions. She applied herself more. She worked, made friends, and found a hobby. That was until an argument since. She missed our kids' appointments and couldn't cancel due to new coworker obligations. After the fight, she muttered, I knew marrying you was a mistake. I gazed at her, and my most distinct impression was that I did not recognize the lady standing there. I saw her differently. The woman in front of me was unfamiliar. I requested a repetition. I went alone with my daughter to the plans after she said, I should have divorced you years ago. I separated legally. While separated, we are still legally married and will not be linked, according to our agreements. Financials will be split, but bills will maintain their divided status. Work would remain my insurance provider. Continued individual and couple treatment was also included. I would live with my sister and share care of our daughter 70/30. I needed my wife to take my newborn baby. She accepted a week earlier. At 7 a.m., I dropped her off at home and saw an unusual car in the driveway. My first thought was that she was hosting a friend's girlfriend. As a sign of respect, I ring the doorbell and wait with my child till a shirtless 20-year-old man answers and asks who I am and what I want. At my request, he called my wife, who walked around the corner in a robe, her look moving from fascinated to amazed to afraid and sad. Of course, legal separation. 3 months till completion. I want a divorce. My child is safe and just knows that her parents dislike each other. As said, she comes first. Perhaps I did what I never wanted. I promised myself I would never become this. Perhaps it can be helped. I end up like my parents. My definition of a healthy partnership is unclear. I hope I can show my daughter my love and raise her well. I appreciate your comments, love, and criticism. On to the next tale. Story 2. Am I unethical for demanding my sister fulfill her side of our parenting agreement? Many backstories exist here. My sister Lily F. is 35. Emma F9 was my 26-year-old niece. She and her then boyfriend were living with my parents after completing heroin addiction treatment. She and her boyfriend struggled to stay sober, utilized throughout pregnancy. Emma asked me to keep her for 2 months while she went back to treatment to become clean when she was 2 months old. I was 22 and living in an efficiency flat while in law school, but my parents couldn't care for a kid and advised foster care for my sister. So I housed my niece. After treatment, my sister reconnected with her drug-using boyfriend, which began 5 years of a horrific cycle in which one would get clean only to be brought down by the other. Official guardianship of Emma was transitory. Every time Lily discussed taking her back, I agreed if they passed a drug test, which never happened. When I was 6, my sister told me she was pregnant again. Having been clean for 8 months, she gave birth to my nephew following this turning point. Emma and I found it hard to move from my house to her parents. In court, we agreed that Emma stays with her parents during the week but stays with me on weekends. After 1 year of family therapy, we stopped after finding a rhythm. My sister is pregnant again, and she and her ex-boyfriend, now husband, don't want Emma to go with me on weekends since she's a brat. Home. Fully understand the scenario. I told my sister that Emma is the center of attention while she's with me, so having to compete with her brother for her mother's attention during morning sicknesses must be difficult. I offered to take my nephew on weekends to give my sister a break or continue family therapy to help Emma adjust. Emma will be spending less time with me, my sister told me. After 2 weekends with Emma, she ignored me, so I threatened to sue her. We have custody. I remain Emma's legal guardian. She thinks I'm exposing her history and preventing her from being a genuine mother to Emma. I've nurtured Emma for nearly 6 years and adore every moment with her, but am I interfering? Emma calls me every night to ask what we're doing for the weekend and why I don't have time for her, so I think my sister is twisting it as me not wanting her to come. I only want Emma's best. Reddit? Correct some myths. My sister has been clean for almost 3 years and Emma is 9. We handled Emma's change carefully. She stayed with her parents every other weekend for a year. Then we split 50/50, and now I have weekends. In response to people who say I'm preventing them from spending weekends with family, I've always been flexible and would let them take Emma if they told me. They don't want me to do stuff with Emma. They send her brother to my parents' house on Saturday and Sunday to relax, and Emma has gone to her grandparents for the past 2 weekends, so I don't see why I shouldn't accompany her. My sister stays home with her kids. Since she doesn't work, she has time for Emma. She weighs 300 pounds and seldom leaves her storm-ravaged house. Emma was 3 when my parents bought her a home to assist her regain custody. Bill works in it so they can make ends meet. I take Emma to karate, swimming, and Girl Scouts every week and keep in touch to assure her safety. My Bill relapsed twice in 3 years, but he was evicted each time, so Emma saw nothing. Some say Emma is a babysitter, but I disagree. My sister seldom leaves home, and I make sure Emma engages in a variety of activities since she needs to be active. She was allegedly given $20 for watching her 3-year-old brother for 2 hours. Comments about Emma's home condition worried me. I made an appointment with Emma's former therapist for Friday after school. We normally make appointments so she can chat to her therapist alone before I join us. I'll let her know I'll always want her. I'll also ask if she's happy with her parents or wants us to spend less time there. Thanks for your thoughts and good luck. Relevant remarks. Describe the changeover events. Never would I let them end our relationship. After having her every other weekend for almost a year, we were hesitant to relocate her. I'm a lawyer, so I know every loophole in the law and the people in the system, so I can easily recover custody. But what if I thought she was in danger? Not sure if that's the right step. Emma calls me her mommy, but my sister is guilty for not being there and trying to be the best mother she can be. Trees obscure the woodland. They had weekends for the first year, then a 50-50 split for a year, and now I have them. Weekends for about a year. Regarding Emma's behavior, her health was good till my sister became pregnant again. She called my sister mom for the first time and liked having a younger brother. She did well in preschool and kindergarten at a private school with a good social group and teachers. I pay for her education. She started returning home after weekends with me and not listening to her parents for the first 2 to 3 days of the week. When my sister felt Emma was following house rules, it was my weekend and the cycle resumed. My sister has admitted she did it. Is envious of me because of my relationship with Emma and my ability to provide her with many things she cannot. I pamper her since she's my girl and I want to give her everything. I think she ignores their instructions to do things like clean the dishes or put down the iPad. Our dynamic is different. I keep her out of the home all day on weekends doing activities and limit her screen usage to after dinner. Since I have a dishwasher, she puts her dishes away, but she's always listened to me. Guilt. Emma calling me mom makes me regret it. Emma called me mom for her first 3 years, but when my sister visited, she broke down, screaming and wondering how I let Emma think I was her mother. It startled, confused Emma, and my parents decided to change my name. Anything else? No consensus bot exists on AITA, however most opinions are NTA. Hello, I've received several requests for an update, but the last month has been tough. I now have custody of all 3 children after my sister gave birth. Emma revealed Lily's mental manipulation at an emergency therapy visit. My sister told her she had to beg me to take her as a baby, that I never wanted her, and that I would return her shortly. I first refused to take my niece in to be fair to my sister. I resided in a Flatbrook efficiency flat my first year of law school. The idea of caring for
a newborn at school, even for a few months, horrified me, and I had no idea how to deal. Government assistance and my parents were crucial. Not that I didn't love or want her back. I continually tried to do what was best for her. I requested an emergency custody order after treatment, citing parental alienation and my sister's marijuana use, which violated her custody restrictions. Since it's illegal in my state, and she doesn't have a prescription, I requested a drug test and house inspection based on the home's condition. I mentioned the house was messy. It has become a health hazard and hoarding concern. I was awarded immediate custody, and CPS visited my sister the following Monday. I anticipated this. I said in my last article that I was confident in recovering custody since I knew her marijuana use. I didn't think that was a problem. A migrainer, she uses them. However, I would use it as a weapon if required. Everything went haywire here. Some remarked on my recent post that I hate my sister. I don't. I love her. And I think her trusting attitude and friends cause most of her difficulties. To be honest, I hate my Bill. CPS found my Bill growing marijuana and hallucinogenic mushrooms in the basement. They both tested positive for marijuana and fentanyl, presumably coupled with whatever they were doing. My nephew was taken immediately and I was notified. They were arrested for my Bill's horticultural operations, which I didn't see. Though pregnant and using, she never used again. I knew she was miserable. No words can describe my treachery. I adjusted well to 2 kids, but I knew she was having another. Shortly, I visited my pregnant sister in jail and struck a deal. She relinquished parental rights to all 3 children in exchange for my paying her bail and helping her with counsel, maximizing her chances of escaping jail. Sorry, I had to pay my obligation and his attorney's fees. She gave birth a week ago without jail time, and my second nephew looks to be doing well despite her drug and alcohol use. I have complete custody of Emma and her siblings and am applying for legal adoption, which is distinct from guardianship. Both parents have signed away their rights, so I am certain I will succeed. I know I'm doing the right thing, and the experience has taught me not to wait for her to be clean enough to take the kids back. It also proved I can't trust her. She lied and manipulated, thus I don't want to co-parent. Emma is happy than ever, and the baby and I are doing well despite a few difficult nights. Ian, my 3-year-old nephew, worries me most. I think he's doing good, but he doesn't realize this is permanent. We will attend family therapy. I hope I've covered everything. Many thanks to those who convinced me Emma was wrong. I shudder to contemplate what might have happened without you. This is improbable. Emma was born because she didn't use birth control because she thought she couldn't get pregnant. She had one of her ovaries removed as a teenager, and the doctor informed her she had little chance of becoming pregnant. Emma. My sister had a cesarean for her breech baby and her other 2. After my newest nephew was born, the doctor warned her that she will likely have no more children due to scars and 1 ovary. She may have another child. The odds are so tiny that I'm ignoring it for now with everything else to worry about. Relevant remarks. Law school info query. About 7 years ago I graduated law school. Following law school, I worked as an assistant and now as a criminal defense attorney, occasionally addressing family law. I'm getting a business certification, international law, since I was raised in Europe and now live in the US. I'd like to work as an attorney for an international company that lets me travel. I'll have to consider the kids while changing jobs. I traveled as a child and liked the many cultures, but I never settled. Have your parents commented? My folks and I are on vacation apart. My parents were furious when I requested emergency custody, and we argued. I understood it. My sister's family seemed to have pulled everything together, and my parents thought I was undermining it. I think things changed once everything was resolved. This is the first time they refused to help my sister. I want to wait till they contact me. I'm tired and anxious, so I don't want to say